What is up, guys? I'm going to be showing you exactly how I was able to catch this win right here, get this P&L across my 10 accounts, which consist of 8 evals across Lucid and Tradeify, and then 2 fundeds. I did end up getting this first break even, and I want to basically go over the trading day and pretty much try to help you guys as much as I can and just give out as much free sauce as I possibly can. Okay. So the first thing I always want to do is I like to go to the weekly and daily time frame just to get an outlook or see if there's anything important. I don't spend too much time on there, so I don't want anyone to get confused and, pretty much overanalyze the charts. I want you guys to just, look at both the weekly and daily just really relative, just really quick. So weekly at a glance, bullish structure, we do have some, potential low resistance to the downside, but overall, I'm pretty bullish, These nice bullish previous weeks are nice to see. So I just want to see how the market reacts and see if we could continue the trend going higher. Going to the daily time frame, what do I notice? I notice that there is this daily gap that we are delivering out of, which is really, really good. This is going to be the condition for the day and pretty much how I base my trade idea off of. The daily gap is a really strong confluence that can deliver us higher, and it is more high probability than a 4-hour gap, than a 1-hour gap, than any other gap. Daily gaps are very, very probable, and they get, really nice and strong reactions. So after I see the daily time frame, I go to the 4-hour. Do I notice any more confluences suggesting that we're going to go higher? I don't see anything suggesting that we could go higher in the 4-hour time frame other than us having this unmitigated 4-hour bearish gap above. And this gap is going to be a big play, like a big reason on why I took the long. The reasoning is just because if price wants to go lower, I'm expecting price to tap into the gap and then deliver to sell side. And then if price is bullish, I'm just expecting price to either way go higher and then just, disrespect this gap and then continue higher. So either way, no matter what scenario, I'm expecting this unmitigated 4-hour bullish gap or bearish gap to get tapped into. So that's exactly why I was able to take longs and how I got the idea. So now that you kind of get the high time frame narrative, the high time frame bias, now it's time to go down to the lower time frame. But before we do that, I'm going to go and take a look at ES. And ES is important because it's really nice. Like, pro tip, a way to increase your win rate is going to be looking at ES's structure. Notice, is ES in a spot of distribution as well as NQ? Are they correlated? Are they uncorrelated? Is ES giving you, a lot of, low resistance liquidity? Just stuff like that are good questions to ask yourself. One thing I do notice in the 4-hour time frame is that we're delivering from this 4-hour bullish gap. So ES is as well looking really bullish, but I do notice that we're also inside of this bearish gap. So we have conflicting PD arrays on ES. So that is one thing, but we do have a SMT and a 4-hour, bullish gap, and we just have this singular bearish gap. So I mean, like right now for ES, I'm definitely like, neutral. But just based off of how strong the Nasdaq is for, in my opinion, price going higher because of the unmitigated 4-hour bearish gap and us delivering from the daily gap and getting an SMT with ES, I'm just super confident in price going higher. So although ES looks like, relatively neutral, I'm still confident in price going higher. And I like to go on the 30-minute time frame just to see ES's structure. Do we have generated liquidity at my take profit? Um, So I do notice that we have these highs that are right around my take profit on the Nasdaq. So ES does have a reason to go higher. We are also delivering out of this 30-minute bullish gap that could, at least on the short term, deliver us to these highs on ES. And we also have these highs and these highs leading up. So I'm pretty confident in longs playing out on both pairs. I'm going to go back to NQ just to see and how the market opens up. Okay, so just keep in mind we're delivering out of the daily gap. So, okay, I'm going to look at my session liquidity indicator just to see, overall what we could do. So one potential is the open, low, high close. which is basically price could come lower, sweeping out London low, and then it could deliver it to this unmitigated 4 hour, or we could end up sweeping out this sell side liquidity and delivering to the unmitigated 4 hour. Either way, both trades look good. Um, so yeah, I just want to see how market opens up, and yeah, I'm expecting an open low, high close. Okay, so the market opens up lower and we end up sweeping out sell side liquidity. Also, we end up sweeping out all of that low resistance liquidity down there. So we end up getting a really good liquidity grab leading up to sell side. And we also sweep out London low as well. So I'm definitely really bullish to my target, this unmitigated 4 hour. Let's now go to the 1 minute time frame to try and find an entry trigger that we can use. Okay. So my target right now, just getting a general grasp, is roughly 200 points away. So just let me ask yourself one question. Do you think that a 200 point play is probable? I don't think so. I don't think that anyone can hit consistent 200 point plays like, with a high win rate. And it is, best on prop firms to get, lower risk to reward and higher win rate. Just that's just the best mathematical and statistical way to, get the most ROI out of prop firms. I mean, no shade to the higher row traders. Obviously, their, statistics can play out in their favor. And I'm not hating, but I'm just saying the way I like to trade, I think low RR, high win rate not only is better on your psychology, but I find that it's statistically easier to literally become profitable on prop firms, right? On a live account and actually trading in the markets, it is a whole different story, but my focus is prop firms right now, right? So what do I think is the most high probability target? So I do notice that we have this, generated failure swing highs leading up to this 1 minute gap. Is that also a 5 minute gap? Yes, it is. So that's going to be the most high probability target that we could, because we could potentially tap into it and then maybe continuation shorts. But I just want to see, you know, this at least get hit, and that's gonna be my target, so I'm just waiting for an IFEG. Okay, now let's see it play out. So we pretty much get the essentially we get the perfect exit. And the reasoning why I decided to exit at this exact spot is going to be it is just the first, candle body high of the LRL that is generated. I did not target the full unfilled 5 minute just because 100 points for me is not really a base hit. It's more of a bigger play. I think that a 90 point move to the candle body high or 89 point move is a lot more realistic. And I just like that a lot better. And it obviously did play out because I think some people who did target the unfilled five ended up getting break even on this setup. Let's see. Yeah, it ended up getting break even. And then does it get stopped out? Yeah, it gets stopped out. It's really brutal. I think it ends up playing out though, either way. Yeah, so it eventually plays out. You'd have to have like a wider stop to get through that. But yeah, I think that that was just the best scenario. That was the trade that I did end up winning on, but I just want to show you guys just to give you guys some sort of transparency here. I did end up taking this long right off of open. It was a 30-second play. I don't have the 30-second on trading view because I don't trade here. I trade on trade C right now on Lucid. I want to show you guys essentially like what I, essentially took. So I basically took a long in this chop mess and I ended up getting break even. I took some long, I think off of this CISD at 930. So I was expecting price to deliver to my target and I had my take profit at maybe like these highs leading up to my take profit. and then I had my stop loss at these lows. Actually, no, I had it at the wick, actually. Had it at the wick, right? And I basically went break even off of purely just discretion here. I did go break even off of this 1 minute gap just because I would didn't really know if price was going to hold it or not, and I wanted to just see price either flush through it or not. And so the second we tapped into it, I instantly went to break even, and it obviously helped me so much just because this ended up not playing out. But if we did break through that 1 minute gap, I was really confident in this whole trade playing out. But yeah, the like the trade that won for me. Okay, so for the trade that won for me, this is a clear power of three. So as you can see here, we got the very, very nice accumulation zone right here. I'll mark this out for you guys to see. And we got the very, very valid manipulation leg. And then we obviously got the distribution. So this is a really clear power of three AMD, and I just want to, try to help people take similar trades. And, this is a nice setup. If you got break even, do not stress it. This setup is a super high win rate. And I know that if you got break even on, pretty much just not, I would say that that's just unlucky getting break even there. Um, it's gonna play out over time. Like if you take this trade 10 times, promise you, like targeting the unfilled five would probably play out, maybe 6 times out of 10. So just know that, probability is on your side. And, just because I definitely did get lucky not targeting the unfilled five, doesn't mean that, I'm necessarily any better than you are. I just, decided to just take base hit, because I don't really like taking 100-point trades ever. I like to go for a little bit lower than that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah.